Alright fans, coming up next on RWL Rage, the RWL Rage Ladies Tag Team Championships on the line as Goddess Mimi Emerson and Jet Williams, Les Femmes Fatale, along with Dynamite Genie Parker at ringside, defend the titles from the UK ladies, Grace Fenwick and Jessica Goldman.
Oh, and here we go. It's what Hangman Tex Lynch always refers to as Christmas time.
By virtue of the fact that this particular version of God Save the Queen used by the UK ladies seems to remind him of the holiday season for some reason. But Grace Fenwick and Jessica Goldman, music notwithstanding, won their last matchup and by virtue of that will be facing Jet Williams and Mimi Emerson for the Rage Ladies Tag Team Championships, and this is a huge opportunity for the UK ladies.
Normally, I don't worry too much when Les Femmes have to defend the Rage Ladies tags, but these two heifers like to fight dirty, and with the belts on the line, they will, and I think that might be a problem for Jet and Mimi.
I hate to admit it, but Tex is right. It does kind of sound like Christmas.
Oh, not you too, Myron, for God's sake. Well, fans, here in Hershey, coming alive for Les Femmes Fatale, Jet Williams, Mimi Emerson, and Dynamite Genie Parker. All three of them dual champions, and together, the RWL Ladies Tag Trio Champions. RWL Rage Ladies Tag Champions, Jet and Mimi, and the Women's World Champion, Dynamite Genie Parker. And these three ladies have been extremely dominant here on RWL Rage.
Well, with Jeannie's latest title defense against Sherry Roy behind her now, great win by the way, she can focus her full attention on Jet and Mimi in this tag title match, and I'm sure she's gonna be keeping an eye on Grace Fenwick and Jessica Goldman.
With or without the titles on the line, she'd be a fool not to watch them.
Genie Dynamite, Jet Williams, and Goddess Mimi Emerson, dual champions, and definitely the dominant three ladies within RWL Rage, welcoming the fans here in Hershey, and the fans welcoming them right back.
I'm telling y'all, I don't trust the UK ladies to play this one straight. I just know they're gonna try something underhanded.
The following ladies tag team match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. It's for the RWL Rage Ladies Tag Championships. The challengers from Sussex, England, Grace Fenwick, and from Brisbane, Australia, Jessica Goldman. The UK ladies. Their opponents accompanied by Women's World Champion Dynamite Genie Parker, from Washington, D.C., Jet Williams, and from Raleigh, North Carolina, Goddess Mimi Emerson. The RWL Rage Ladies Tag Team Champions, Les Femmes Fatale.
Well, to date, Jeannie and Mimi have faced off against Power and Beauty, the Texan Ladies Association, Pretty Poison, but this is their first dust-up with the UK ladies. Looking forward to seeing how this turns out.
It's a title match that's got all our attention, Myron. It's going to be Grace Fenwick and Jet Williams starting us off. In this ladies tag team title matchup, Willie Johnson sounds the bell. They come center ring. Jet Williams with an immediate right stuns Grace Fenwick. Grace Fenwick counters with a kick, misses with a spinning back fist, catches a right from Jet Williams. Jet Williams countered with a kick. Grace Fenwick off the rope, flying kick, takes down Jet Williams. Grace locks her up, whips Jet to the far corner, draws a knee into the chest, follows it up with a couple of boots to the face. Oh my! Putting those boots to the face of Jet Williams, rebounds off the ropes, and one more good stomp across the head from Grace Fenwick. The sadistic Grace Fenwick biding her time, waiting for Jet to get to her feet. Here we go. Whoa, another driving kick right to the chest. Jet Williams counters with a kick to the midsection, locks up. Grace Fenwick whips her to the ropes. Grace puts on the brakes. Jet Williams misses with the spear. Grace Fenwick tags her with a forearm and takes her down. Grace Fenwick rounds up Jet Williams, locks her up. A series of kicks to the chest and right back down goes Jet Williams. Hard left hands being rained down upon the head, followed up with a stomp to the midsection as Grace Fenwick steps out. Here comes Jessica Goldman. And Jet Williams in some serious trouble here. Again, the Rage Ladies Tag titles on the line. A driving knee misses by Jessica Goldman. Jessica Goldman tags out, tags Grace Fenwick back in. Jet Williams back up on her feet. A rebound off the ropes, a flying punch. Takes Jet Williams right back down to the canvas. Grace covers one and only a one. Grace Fenwick tags out, tags in. Jessica Goldman, the tagging working very efficiently for the UK ladies. Jet Williams whips Goldman to the ropes. Ducks under. Leapfrogs it. Here we go. Winds it. Whoa, what a beautiful wraparound neckbreaker. Jet Williams covers one. But no, Jessica Goldman powered out, and Grace Fenwick was there for the rescue. Everybody in the ring now. Mimi Emerson whips Grace Fenwick out onto the floor. A kick to the chest for Jessica Goldman from Jet Williams. A stomp to the midsection, and another. Jet Williams follows it up with a stomp to the back of the head. Jessica Goldman counters. Look at this. Grace Fenwick and Mimi Emerson going at it on the outside. Mimi raining right hands on Grace Fenwick. My goodness. Here we go. Taken down. Jessica Goldman into a submission. She's stretching, reaching for the ropes, but she's going to have to power her own way out, and she sure does. A set of hard right hands to the head of Jet Williams. Jessica Goldman with a running kick. Takes Jet down. Jet rolls out onto the floor. Jessica Goldman takes herself all the way up to the top rope. And here she goes. Misses. Jet Williams stepping out of the way deftly just in time. And look at this. What an elaborate leg snap right there from Jet Williams. Grace Fenwick finally making her way back to her tag corner, I suspect. Oh, no, look at this. She's going to get involved directly. Goes after Jet Williams. You weren't kidding. They're going to try something underhanded. They sure have. Jet Williams tags out. Here comes Goddess Mimi Emerson. And here comes Grace Fenwick on the tag. Fresh partners all the way around. Off the ropes, Mimi nails her with a forearm. Grace Fenwick taken down. Grace back up on her feet. Hard right spins Grace Fenwick around. Look at this. Mimi Emerson into a sleeper hold on Grace Fenwick. Jessica Goldman nowhere to make the save. But here's a jawbreaker that backs Mimi off. Grace Fenwick back up on her feet. Charges, rebounds off the ropes, flying forearm that takes Mimi down to the canvas. Grace covers one, but no, barely just a one. Mimi Emerson counters with a kick to the head. Moves in, locks up Grace Fenwick. Kaboom! Knee to the skull. Down goes Grace. Mimi covers 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Les Femmes Fatale retaining the Rage Ladies Tag Team titles over the UK Ladies by pinfall.
Here's the time, 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Your winners, and still, Rage Ladies Tag Team Champions, Jet Williams, Mimi Emerson, Les Femmes Fatale.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that to be over quite so fast.
Me neither.
Mimi sure put out Grace Fenwick's lights with that knee smash. She didn't even try to power out, cause Mimi Emerson put her to sleep, and Jessica wasn't around to make the save. Cause she got taken out by Jet Williams. Very efficient work to retain the titles.
Extremely efficient work. Mimi Emerson indeed putting the lights out for Grace Fenwick. Our main event when we return from the break. Stay with us.